Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Anybody knows this technical thing? How to? I'm only hearing my own voice here. Something you have to echo. You have to. I think audio. Hare Krishna. Hmm. Okay, welcome to our discussion on Sri Nityanand Prabhu. I thought of discussing from the 7th chapter of Antyakhanda of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. The chapter is entitled Gadadhar Kanan Vilasavarnam, Pastimes in Sri Gadadhar's Garden, Tota Gopinath. This is in preparation to our upcoming Nityantradashi on Monday. So very nice topic. We'll have. I will only recite. You can just hear, because otherwise it will take time. There are 166 verses. Let us see how we go. First one. Jaya Jaya Shri Vaikuntha Natha Gaura Chandra. Jaya Jaya Shri Seva Vigraha Nityananda. You don't have to recite, you just hear. All glories to Shri Gaur Chandra, the Lord of Vaikuntha. All glories to Shri Nityananda, the personification of the Lord's service. So Bhaktan Thakur writes, the phrase Shri Seva Vigraha is explained as follows. Shri Baldev Prabhu serves the Lord by assuming 10 different forms. Shri Nityananda Prabhu serves Lord Gaur Sundar by enacting the pastimes of distributing love of God. That is why he is Shri Gaura Seva Vigraha, the personification of Gaura's service. How many of you want to render service to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So we need to take the dust of the holy lotus feet of Shri Nityananda Prabhu, because he is personification of the Lord's service. Jaya Jaya Advaita Shri Vasapriya Dham, Jaya Gadadhara Shri Jagdananda Pran. All glories to the object of Shri Advaita and Shri Vas love. All glories to the life and soul of Gadadhar and Shri Jagdananda. Jaya Shri Paramananda Purira Jivana, Jaya Shri Damodara Swarupera Pranadhana. All glories to the life and soul of Paramananda Puri. All glories to the treasure of Swarup Damodar's life. Jaya Vakrishwara Panditera Priyakari, Jaya Pundarika Vidyanidhi Manohari. All glories to the benefactor of Vakrishwara Pandit. All glories to the enchanter of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Jaya Jaya Dwarapala Govindera Natha, Jiva Pratikara Prabhu, Shubhadrushti Pata. All glories to the Lord of Govinda, the doorkeeper. O Lord, please glance mercifully on the living entities. Govinda's name is Dwarpal, as he would protect Gaur Sundar. He namate Nityananda Navadvipa Pure Viharena Prema Bhakti Ananda Sagare. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu enjoyed in the ocean of ecstatic love of God while staying in Navadvip. Before this, one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him in Nilachal and said that I have been restricted to be here in this Nilachal, Jagannath Puri Dham. So we have incarnated to deliver all the fallen conditioned souls. So you please go to Bengal and preach. So at once Nityananda Prabhu leaves with all his associates, he infuses them with his transcendental mercy, and they go mad. The description goes for a long time, but somehow they reach Kardaha, and there he resides and he preaches to the Suvarna Mullik, headed by Uddharan Datta Thakur in Triveni Sangam and other places, Adi Saptagram, etc. But then one day he goes to Shantipur, Nityananda Prabhu. After some time, then he goes eventually to Navadvip also. Mother Sachi was just thinking that I should have Nityananda Prabhu's association. And immediately he comes there. She says, you must be Paramatma only. It disproves. I just prayed for your association and you are here. So please stay here for some 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, so that I can see you. So Nityananda Prabhu stays and he wanders on the streets of Navadvip, dresses himself very opulently, and very costly ornaments he has on his body. He wanted to wear one day all the costly ornaments, and immediately so many people came. Somebody gave golden ornaments, some silver ornaments, or precious stones ornaments. He wore them in all 10 fingers. He had 10 rings. Very beautiful. And then he goes on the streets. It is description of thieves in Navadvip getting attracted to him, and all that description is there. But this is eventually little later that in this way Nityananda Prabhu enjoyed in the ocean of ecstatic love of God while staying in Navadvip. निरवधि भक्त संगे करे न कीर्तन Krishna Nritya Gita Haila Sabara Bhajan. Lord Nityananda would constantly engage in Sankirtan along with his devotees. Indeed, chanting and dancing in glorification of Krishna became their only occupation. गोपशिशु गण संगे प्रति घरे घरे येन क्रीडा करिलेन गोकुल नगरे सईमत गोकुलेर आनंद प्रकाशी कीर्तन करेन नित्यानंद सुविलासी. As Lord Nityananda previously sported from house to house with the cowherd boys in Gokul, he manifested similar blissful Gokul pastimes while performing Kirtan. Ichamaya Nityananda Chandra Bhagavan Gaura Chandra Dekite Haila Ichatan. The supremely independent Lord Nityananda once desired to see Gaur Chandra. So that's how he will visit Nilachal. आईस्थाने हैलेन संतोषे विदाय नीलाचले चलिलेन chaitanya ichaya. Taking permission from Mother Sachi, he departed for Nilachal by the will of Sri Chaitanya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also desired. That is not revealed directly, but they are same lords, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu understood. He took permission from Sachi Mata, left for Nilachal. परम विभल पारिषद सब संगे आइलेन श्री चैतन्य नाम गुण रंगे. He became overwhelmed as he chanted Lord Chaitanya's names and qualities while traveling on the path to Nilachal with his associates. हुंकार गर्जन नृत्य आनंद क्रंदन निरवधि करे सब पारिषद गण. His associates would constantly roar, shout loudly, dance, and cry in ecstasy. मत सर्वपथ प्रेमानंद रसे आइलेन नीलाचले कते कदिवसे. Passing the entire journey absorbed in love of Krishna, they arrived at Nilachal after some days. Walking those years, those times means walking only, whole distance. Pramala purete asi prasada dekhiya padilen Nityananda murchita haya. Arriving at Kamalpur, Nityananda fell unconscious upon seeing the temple of Lord Jagannath. This is the first place. Earlier it used to be. Now I don't know. But Kamalpur is the first place while coming from Bhubaneswar towards Nilachal, that one would get the darshan of the top of the temple with chakra at its extreme top. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in his first journey from Shantipur to Nilachal, he also got to see same in Kamalpur. He immediately prostrated himself. We in 1998 when we went, we followed exactly the same path. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj took us in April from Bhubaneswar station when we got down by Konark Express. Maharaj took us by the same path. We visited all the holy places which Mahaprabhu visited. We took Poteshwar Mahadev, then Dandavanga Nadi. We took bath there. Then many other places. And Kamalpur also we prostrated ourselves. So here Nityananda fell unconscious upon seeing the temple of Lord Jagannath. Niravadhi nayane vahaye premadhara Shri Krishna Chaitanya bali kare na hunkara. Constant tears flowed from his eyes and he loudly roared, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Earlier the description came, Nityananda Prabhu day in and out, day in and day out. In night time also, he would be chanting Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. In the sleep also. So never was there a time when he did not chant Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Great. So if we also want to chant Shri Krishna Chaitanya day and night, we need mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Asiya rahila eka pushpera udyane ke bhuje tahar icha Shri Chaitanya vine. Nityananda came and stayed in one flower garden. Who can understand his desire other than Shri Chaitanya? Nityananda Vijaya Janiya Gaura Chandra Ekeshwara Ailena Chadi Bhakta Vrinda. Understanding that Nityananda had arrived, Shri Gaurachandra left his devotees and went there alone. Mahaprabhu understood. He also wants to meet him alone. So he came there. He came alone, not with other devotees. He left them all there. Dhyananande ekhane aiche na Nityananda sei sthane Vijaya Karila Gaurachandra. Shri Gaurchandra arrived there as Nityananda was sitting absorbed in transcendental bliss. Prabhu asi dekhe Nityananda dhyana para pradakshina karite lagila bahutara. When the Lord saw Nityananda sitting in meditation, he began to repeatedly circumambulate him. Earlier, when Nityananda Prabhu was visited by Advaitacharya, or when Nityananda Prabhu visited Advaitacharya's place, Shantipur. So there Advaitacharya circumambulates Nityananda Prabhu. And with folded palms pays his obeisances. Says, yeah, the Supreme Lord, and he glorifies him abundantly. And there, Vrindavan Thakur says that though they often seem to be fighting, anybody who misunderstands, who doesn't understand properly their position and why for the Lord's pleasure they fight, then he cannot understand the tattva of the Lord. He will misunderstand them. Several times they fight, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaitacharya, but they fight for the pleasure of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So one should not misunderstand their fights, because after fighting for a long time, then suddenly they would embrace each other and would be in full ecstasy. So that shows clearly there is no envy, there is no anything mundane there. Also, one should not take sides when Vaishnavas fight. That is the time. That is time and again. Vrindavan Das Thakur clarifies, because sometimes one person may be wrong, other person may be correct, or it may be reverse way, other way. We don't know. Both could be correct, both could be wrong. Depends on whether both are Kanishta Adhikaris, one is Kanishta, one is Madhyam, what it is. It's very difficult to understand. If one can sort out the conflicts in Vaishnavas when they fight, then that is okay. But otherwise, one should not take side. It's very dangerous. Yeah, unlimitedly it has. You should read Chaitanya Bhagavat. Yes.
Nice. All three are sitting and they're joking with each other. Very endearing. So why these things are shown in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where two incarnations are joking, fighting, embracing, respecting each other?
Because all emotions, bhakti is all about emotions only. So everything has to be there. If you read Nitya Nectar of Devotion, last section, there's so many emotions, yawning, drooling, everything is there. Everything is for service of the Lord only. No other emotion to be exhibited.
Is different. I am asking about when two Vaishnavas,
fighting, everything is for
so it's
Krishna.
Rasa. It's the rasa which they are experiencing.
Yes.
Okay. Because it's not a neutral thing, you know, very sober and all that. That is not.
It is not just joke only. Everything is there in bhakti. The whole of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya philosophy culminates in emotions only.
So is there anything which we can apply in this?
We can chant attentively. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
I did that today.
Has everything in it.
Anything more we can do?
This
I am
only.
trying every day.
This only.
This is the only thing we should do.
Till the tears come out from your eyes.
Then we can joke.
Till then you cannot understand.
Then only we can joke. Otherwise we should not.
Yes. Now here.
Or fight.
Prabhu asi dekhe Nityananda dhyana par pradakshina karite lagila bahutar. When the Lord saw Nityananda sitting in meditation, he began to repeatedly circumambulate him. Shloka bandhe Nityananda mahima varniya pradakshina kare Prabhu prema purna hayya. The Lord was filled with love, and as he circumambulated Nityananda, he recited a verse describing his glories. Shri Mukhera Shloka Shuna Nityananda Stuti Ye Shlokya Shunile Haya Nityanande Mati. Please hear the verse describing Nityananda's glories that Sri Chaitanya recited. By hearing this verse, one's mind will be attracted to Nityananda. So let us repeat. You can repeat after me. Gruhiniyad Yavani Panim Vishedva Shaundikalayam Tathapi Brahmano Vandyam Nityananda Padambujam. This verse comes at least 2-3 places in Chaitanya Bhagavat, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself only says this long before when Nityananda Prabhu had arrived in Navadvip, Nandanacharya's house he hides, etc. Then eventually he stays in Srivas Thakur's house. So there also once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tests Srivas Thakur. What is this? You have kept this fellow in your house. Nobody knows his caste and what exactly which ashram he belongs to. How can you keep such a person? You lose your caste. So that time Srivas Thakur glorifies Nityanand Prabhu. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clarifies and he says this only. Whether Sri Nityananda accepts the hand of an outcast woman or enters a liquor shop, his lotus feet are still worshipable by even Brahma. Madira is also, this is same there also. Please repeat. Madira Yavani Jadi Dhare Nityananda Tathapi Brahmara Vandya Bale Gaura Chandra. Gaur Chandra said, if Nityananda enters a liquor shop or accepts the hand of an outcast woman, he is still worshipable by even Brahma. In commentary, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, by drinking wine, human beings lose their sense of discrimination. By consuming intoxicants, sinful people bring about their own degradation. To associate with an outcast woman devoid of good behavior is most sinful. Brahma is the origin of all demigods and is worshipable. As on one side, a most sinful person is degraded, Brahma on the other side is worshipable by all. Shri Nityan Prabhu and Shri Guru Vaishnav, who are non-different from Shri Nityananda, are so worshipable by all that even if through external vision cheated by Maya, they are found to be engaged in extremely abominable activities, they also remain superior to everyone and respectable to all. It is a great offense to consider through external vision that they are polluted by sin. It is said, Teji Asam na doshaya. Great personalities, we should not see faults in them. It's very difficult to understand. In fact, just few chapters before, there is a description of one Brahman in Navadvip. When he saw Nityan Prabhu doing all this kind of thing, what kind of sannyasi is he? He is chewing upon betel nut. Then he is wearing very costly garments and decorated with such opulent ornaments, etc. He could not understand. Somehow, one time when he came to Nilachal and got to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in seclusion, then he inquired that I very much get confused by seeing this Nityan Prabhu. Could you please tell me what is he about? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, oh, Nityan Prabhu, he's not different from me, he's very worshipable and all that. And he tells how one should not see faults in Nityan Prabhu. And there he also says that how a great personality, we should not misunderstand. We might misunderstand. Sometimes they may be doing some things which are worldly, according to worldly calculations, not acceptable. But we cannot understand somebody who is fully surrendered to Krishna. Certainly, Yadyad Acharati Sreshtas, for that reason, great souls will behave appropriately, modestly in public. But sometimes their behavior may be strange. So rather than misunderstanding it, better one takes shelter of some other Vaishnava and understands how to understand this personally, just like this Brahman did. And Mahaprabhu glorifies Nityan Prabhu like anything. Then he tells how the Shadgarbhas, they were Brahma's sons and they, all that thing, and they were killed, and but then eventually they got purified. And how one should not commit offense by misunderstanding, misjudging some great personality. They will follow the norms, but sometimes they may not follow. ये श्लोक पढ़ी प्रभु प्रेम वृष्टि करी नित्यानंद प्रदक्षिण करे गौर हरि. You don't repeat, please. You please hear me. Gaur Hari produced a shower of ecstatic love of God as he recited this verse and circumambulated Nityananda. Nityananda Swarupo Janiya Eikshanne Utilena Hari Bali Parama Sambhrame. At that moment, Nityananda got up with great reverence while chanting Hari Hari. Dekhi Nityananda Gaura Chandra Rabadana Ki Ananda Haila Taha Nayaya Varnana. The happiness Nityananda felt by seeing the face of Sri Gaurachandra is difficult to describe. Hari Boli Simhanada Lagila Karite Premanande Achada Padena Pruthavite. Nityananda roared like a lion, chanted the name of Hari, and fell forcefully to the ground in ecstatic love of God. All ecstasy comes from Nityan Prabhu. He is Premonmad Unmatta. So if we want ecstasy, we have to worship Nityan Prabhu. He is Adi Guru. All gurus get their strength, devotional ecstasy from Nityan Prabhu only. Duijana Pradakshina Kare Duha Kare Duhe dandavat hai, pade na duhare. The two lords then circumambulated each other and offered obeisances to each other. क्षणे दुई प्रभु करे प्रेम आलिंगन क्षणे गलाधरि करे आनंद क्रंदन. One moment they embraced with love, and the next moment they cried as they held each other's neck. So these Vaishnava dealings are also there, embracing, crying, paying obeisances and all that. Some devotees face difficulty by embracing and all that, so they don't have to do all that. But ultimately, the highest ecstasy Vaishnavas feel. क्षणे परानंदे गड़ी जाय दुई जन महामत्त सिंहजिनी दुहार गर्जन. In another moment, the two rolled on the ground in transcendental happiness and roared louder than maddened lions. Earlier, Nityananda Prabhu, when he went to on Bengal, I think. So there he empowered the children. For 3 months, children did not eat anything. And they were so much in ecstasy that ecstasy is unbelievable in a sense. According to our mundane calculation, they went crazy. And there, one of the shloka he says that if a human being does not eat for 3 days, he'll be so weak he just can't stand up and walk properly, like that. And then, but these persons, the children, they were children, and 3 months they did not eat anything, but then they were nourished by Nityananda Prabhu's glance only. One particular section is about the power of Nityananda Prabhu's glance, how different people were empowered by Nityananda Prabhu's glance only. In whichever direction he glanced at anyone, they went crazy. So perfection of life is to go crazy, like that. For that, we should be busy currently in Krishna conscious activities, and we should not be lazy. Lazy, busy, crazy. In mundane calculation, lazy means ignorant person, and then crazy means passionate person, and busy means person in the mode of goodness. But in the transcendental platform, then one should be crazy for Krishna, crazy for Gauranga and Nityananda. क्षणे परानंदे गड़ी जाय दुई जन महामत्त सिंहजिनी दुहार गर्जन. In another moment, the two rolled on the ground in transcendental happiness and roared louder than maddened lions. कि अद्भुत प्रीति से करे न दुई जने पूर्वे ये न शुनियाची श्री राम लक्ष्मणे. The wonderful reciprocation of love between the two was like that previously found between Ram and Lakshman. Advaita Acharya also gives this definition and this comparison, that you are Lakshman only who served Lord Ram with one pointed determination, like that. दुई जने श्लोक पढ़ी वर्णे न दुहारे दुहारे दुहे योद हस्ते नमस्करे. They both recited verses glorifying the other, and then they offered obeisances with folded hands to each other. Both are considered the fathers of one child named Sankirtan. Sankirtanaika Pitaro. This one child has two fathers. This is impossible in the mundane calculation, but in spiritual calculation, this is a fact. This child called Sankirtan has two fathers, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu.
Comparing Lakshman and Ram with Chaitanya and Nityananda. However, I have not studied Ramayana, but there don't seem to be such exchanges I have heard. Here there are quite intimate exchanges.
Because that is
putting hand, all that.
So only with Krishna one can have 5 rasas. Otherwise, with Ram and other incarnations, one generally has 2. And very select few have some. Bharat, Lakshman, and Shatrugna had only reverential Sakhyaras. That's it.
So,
that
in what
sense
Krishna. They are compared here? What aspect?
Service.
Servitude.
Yes. Ashrukam pahasya murcha pulaka vaivarnya Krishna bhakti vikarera yata ache marma. Shedding tears, shivering, laughing, losing consciousness, hair standing on end, changing of bodily color, and other bodily transformations produced by devotional service to Krishna were fully manifest in those two lords. Iha vai dui shri vigrahe aranai sabe kare karayena Chaitanya Gosai. Those symptoms were found only in the bodies of those two lords. Lord Chaitanya personally manifested such symptoms and also manifested them in others. Yadbhuta prema bhakti haila prakash Nayana bhariya dekhe ye ekanta das. Such wonderful ecstatic devotional love is seen by all unalloyed servant, by an unalloyed servant of the Lord to his full satisfaction. In the commentary, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, the phrase ekanta das or unalloyed servants refers to those who do not have and never will have separate interests. Many business minded people with incomplete vision oppose the eternal master servant relationship. Their service is hardly unalloyed. Their deceitful display of opportunistic service is a manifestation of cheating, not of pure devotional service. Living entities averse to the service of the Lord exhibit samples of eternal service for as long as it suits their desires. But the moment their sense gratification is disturbed, they immediately give up service and begin to harass and rebel against their master, opposing themselves as masters. To the degree impersonal traces are there in one, to that degree, this tendency will be there. That going against the master, going against those personalities who helped us to become devotees and go on with our devotional practices. Because Mayavadis have that to great extent, full extent. They will take Guru just for the sake of some so-called initial beginning. And once they realize, so to say, that they are only God, they are Narayan, especially after taking sannyas. Danda grahana matrena nara Narayan bhavet. Then they hell with the Guru. Why is he required? Not required. Leave him, kick him out. The Prabhupada once said it is like using a ladder to get on some higher level to get something. And after reaching there, then you just kick off the ladder. Why is the need? So this lack of gratitude is very dangerous in sadhaka. And it comes from impersonal tendencies, which we get through impersonalistic people's association. Even for that matter, sense gratifiers, those who have bhukti kamna, will find them, they have so-called gratitude. As long as their purpose is served. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. So they have that kind of camaraderie or that kind of friendship. Though it is selfish, but it is there. But those who are mukti kamna, mumukshus, they are more dangerous. The bhukti and mukti two are pishachis, which is of that mukti is more dangerous than even bhukti. Rupa Goswami explains. So to the degree we have associated with impersonalists, Mayavadis, to that degree this tendency will be there in sadhaka, and our gratitude will eventually be lost. The gratitude was the one which gave us entrance in bhakti, and that is the one which makes us advance in bhakti. But the moment we start losing gratitude, we start degrading in spiritual life. Our consciousness will go down. No matter how much you endeavor, you just can't progress, because the advancement depends on the attitude of the follower, and the attitude of gratitude, which is internal and externally shown by servitude. Attitude of gratitude within and attitude of servitude outside. In subtle body there is gratitude, and in the gross body there is servitude. One and the same only. Inside it is gratitude, and that's how externally it will manifest as servitude. We are ready to render service. So, but then if it is not there, it is very, very dangerous. Especially losing gratitude. That will happen for n number of reasons, but mainly it is these impersonal traces. These are seeds. They are explained in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita to Srila Rupa Goswami by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One should be extremely careful not to allow this to happen. But if we are associating with those kind of asatsangis, asatsanga we have, then it is unavoidable. Prabhupada talks about karma bij, jnana bij, yoga bij, philanthropic bij, social bij, and political bij. And Prabhupada says there are millions of bijas. We have iPhone bij, we have laptop bij, we have car bij, cabin bij, president bij, post of president bij. So millions of bijas are there. Depending on how much asatsanga we have, we will get these bijas, and that's what will fructify, grow in our heart. And then because of lack of gratitude and gratitude reducing, one just can't cry out to Krishna while chanting. Impossible. No way. Because advancement all depends on attitude. Externally one may do, like Prabhu very nicely exposed today, the fallacy of practice, devotional practice. Externally one may go on putting a big display, But because internally there is lack of gratitude, he just can't advance. Krishna does not. Bhakti is seen through that gratitude, like that. तबे कतक्षणे प्रभु जोड़ हस्त करी नित्यानंद प्रतिस्तुति करे गौर हरि. After some time, Gaur Hari folded his hands and began to offer praise to Nityananda. You can repeat after me. Nama Rupe Tumi
Nama Rupe Tumi
Nityananda Murtimanta
Nityananda Murtimanta
Shri Vaishnava Dhama Tumi
Shri Vaishnava Dhama Tumi
Ishvara Ananta.
Ishwarananda.
O Nityananda, you are the personified form of the holy name and the form of eternal bliss. You are the abode of all the Vaishnavas, and you yourself are Lord Ananta. Commentary will read. Shri Nityananda Prabhu is Ananta, the supreme controller and the origin of all Vaishnavas. He is Adi Guru. From Guru only come Vaishnavas. He is Adi Guru, so what to speak. He is the personification of his holy name and form. Temporary mundane names and forms are subordinate objects. In one place it is said that the holy name and the form of the Lord combinedly is Nityananda Prabhu. In the Gopal Tapani Upanishad, it is stated, Parama Brahma Krishnatmako Nityanandaika Rupaha. He is the supreme Brahman. He is the expansion of Krishna and he is the form of eternal bliss. In the Niralamba Stuti, it is stated, Nityanandam Akhandaika Rasam Advitiyam. He is eternally blissful. He is the source of all relishable relationships and he is one without a second. In the Mundak Upanishad, it is stated, Sa Vedaitat Paramam Brahma Dhama Yatra Vikshvam Nihitam Bhati Sam Shubhram. A learned transcendentalist knows Lord Ananta, the superintending deity of the spiritual world and the personification of the Sandhini energy, in whom both the material and spiritual worlds rest. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated, Sahastra Patra Kamalam Gokulakyam Mahatpadam Tatkarnikaram Tadhama Tad Anantamsha Sambhavam. The super excellent station of Krishna, which is known as Gokul, has thousands of petals and a corolla like that of a lotus sprouted from a part of his infinitary aspect, the whirl of the leaves being the actual abode of Krishna. Yatakichutamara Shri Angera Alankara Satya 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 Bhakti Yoga Avatara. All the ornaments decorating your transcendental body are incarnations of devotional service to Lord Krishna. This is the truth, the truth, the truth. So in the transcendental body of Nityananda, all the ornaments are devotional service only. Charvanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanyam. All the 9 processes of devotional service, they are the ornaments of Nityananda Prabhu. Swarna Mukta Hirakas Kasa Rudraksha Dirupe Navavidha Bhakti Dhari Yacha Nija Sukhe. You take pleasure decorating yourself with the 9 processes of devotional service in the form of ornaments bedecked with gold, pearls, diamonds, and rudraksha. So superficially, he may be appearing to be decorated with all these worldly ornaments made up of worldly things like gold, pearls, diamond. But actually, his transcendental body is decorated with 9 processes of devotional service. Nicha jati patita adhama yata jana toma haite haila ebe sabara mochana. All the fallen, wretched, low-born living entities will now be delivered by your mercy. Commentary. The spiritual master removes the stigma of his disciples' low birth resulting from past activities. So in one sense, all of us are low-born only because we have done some sinful activities. The very fact that we have this body, material body, that shows the greatest sin was performed of rebellion against Krishna, envy of Krishna. That's why we got this material body in the material world. And after getting this material body in several lifetimes, so many other sinful activities were also performed, no doubt. But then spiritual master can remove this stigma of the low birth of the disciple resulting from past activities. He also frees him from misdirected learning and fallen conditions. Yes, all agyan is removed by him. Prabhu was nicely telling that today morning. He does not sit idly as a pure and most exalted personality while leaving his disciple fallen, wretched, and low class. Nityananda Prabhu delivers all living entities from the conceptions of piety and impiety and superiority and inferiority based on caste by giving them the science of self-realization. So this superiority complex is passion and inferiority complex is ignorance. So spiritual master helps the disciple to get rid of both, and he situates him in pure goodness.
This purport of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, I was just trying to understand these verses are referring to whom?
Nityan Prabhu.
In the
glory in
Mundak
Nityan.
Upanishad and all that means it seems they are referring to Krishna, but here
Nityan Prabhu is not different from Krishna.
so yeah, the word is Nityananda some places.
Yes.
Gopal Tapani Upanishad and all that. But
Yes.
other places, so they are quoted for Nityanand Prabhu here.
Yes. We'll go ahead. ये भक्ति दिया छ तुम्हें वणिक सबारे तहा वांछे सौर सिद्ध मुनि Yogeshware. The devotional service that you have given to the mercantile community is desired by the demigods, sages, perfect mystics, and great yogis. In commentary, it says the service propensity that you have given to the fortunate bankers and gold merchants who are socially classified as inferior is desired by the demigods, perfect mystics, and great sages who are all free from the desire to enjoy the external world. Earlier, also, that Brahmin asked how he stays, or earlier when Nityan Prabhu was in Adi Saptagram, he stayed in the houses of merchants, Uddharan Datta and others. So they are low class, Triyo Vaishyas, Tatha Shudras. So how can you stay with them? Staying in Brahmana's house, it's okay. But how? So Nityan Prabhu is very merciful. He delivers low class people also, if they are willing to accept the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whereas very highly qualified Brahmanas, they can't get Nityan Prabhu's mercy. If they are proud of their education and they are averse to Lord Gaurang Mahaprabhu, thereby by their erudite scholarship. That kind of discretion comes there. Here also same thing. But those who have taken birth in the mercantile community and think that they have attained devotional service in spite of committing offenses at the lotus feet of Nityananda, by opposing the devotees and the devotional service of the Lord, are understood to be bereft of devotional service. They did not get. Same after glorifying these merchants' fortune by associating with Nityan Prabhu, little later he says that, but then little later or whatever, eventually, some of them were very proud of their wealth, etc., because they are merchants. Suvarna Malik, they have gold and all that, but they were averse to Nityan Prabhu. So thus, they would not flourish in devotional service. No way. So by opposing the devotees and the devotional service of the Lord, then they become bereft of devotional service. They are unqualified to achieve the mercy of the spiritual master, who is non-different from Nityananda. स्वतंत्र करिया वेदे ये कृष्ण रे कय हे न कृष्ण पार तुम्ही करिते विक्रय. You are able to sell Krishna, who is proclaimed as fully independent in the Vedas. Commentary: the Supreme Lord is not dependent on anyone, but Sri Nityananda Prabhu has taken control of him by serving Krishna. Sri Krishna is certainly the property of Sri Nityananda. तुम्हारा महिमा जानी बारे शक्तिकार मूर्तिमंत तुम्ही Krishna rasa avatar. Who has the power to know your glories? You are the personification of the transcendental mellows of love for Krishna. Lord Nityananda is the personification of the transcendental mellows of love for Krishna. As the Ashray Vigraha, or the manifestation or form of the Lord, of whom one must take shelter, he enhances the 5 types of rasa in relationship with Krishna. That also description comes earlier, that if someone only thinks that I am Vishay Vigraha only, very dangerous. That means Mayavadi conception, and I am only Supreme Lord. But rather, by taking shelter of Ashray Vigraha, those who consider Krishna to be their Ashray, who is the only Vishay, so then one can get the mercy of Nityan Prabhu and his followers. बाह्य नाही जान तुम्ही संकीर्तन सुखे अहर्निश Krishna guna tomara श्रीमुखे. You have forgotten the external world and are engaged day and night in glorifying the qualities of Lord Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorifying Nityan Prabhu. Krishna Chandra tomara hridaya nirantar tomara vigraha Krishna vilase raghar. Krishna Chandra always resides in your heart. Thus your body is the abode of Krishna's pastimes. Nityan Prabhu's body, whenever you take darshan of Nityan Prabhu, know that all pastimes are there, deposited. You can see any pastime of Krishna. If you take sincerely, with fervently, the shelter of Nityan Prabhu. Because name, form, qualities, pastime. In the name, form, qualities, pastime, everything is there. In the form also, qualities, pastimes, all are there. अतएव तुम्हारे ये जने प्रीति करे सत्य सत्य कृष्ण कभू न छाड़ी बेतारे. Therefore, it is certainly true that Krishna will never leave anyone who becomes attached to you. I think Narottam Das Thakur or some Acharya says, Ashray Laya Bhaje, Tare Krishna Nahi Teje. If one takes shelter of Krishna through some associate of him, through devotee, spiritual master, and Vaishnavas, Krishna will never give up such a devotee. He may commit mistakes, blunders, sins, whatever. And he should not commit offense, because taking shelter of Krishna means taking shelter of Vaishnavas also, because all the Vaishnavas are with Krishna. So offense is not considered, offense should not be there, but sins are committed knowingly, unknowingly, whatever, that is all forgiven. से सेवक धन्य जे न छाड़े प्रभुर चरण, से प्रभु धन्य जे न छाड़े निज जन. दुर्दैवे सेवक यदि जाय अन्य स्थाने, से ठाकुर धन्य तारे चूले धरि आने. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami tells that servant is glorious who never gives up the lotus feet of his master, and that master is glorious who never gives up his servant. But by some unfortunate event, if the servant leaves, that master is glorious who catches him by his shikha and pulls him back, because he has taken shelter. Then he cannot be given up by the Lord. So one should not give up shelter. That's why the gratitude, lack of gratitude is very dangerous. One gives up the shelter of devotees, Guru, through whom we get shelter of Krishna. Krishna's shelter cannot be taken directly. It has to be taken through Guru, through Vaishnavas. But unfortunately, that Mayavadi conception takes one away from that gratitude. Therefore, Lord Nityananda humbly, where we completed 47. No? Tabe katakshane Nityananda Mahashaya balite lagila ati kariya vinay. Thereafter, Lord Nityananda humbly spoke to the Lord as follows. Prabhu hai tumi ye amare kar stuti, ye tomara vatsalya bhaktera prati ati. Although you are the Lord, you offer prayers to me. This is proof of your affection for your devotees. Pradakshina kara kiba kara namaskar kiba mara kiba rakha ye ichha tomar. You may circumambulate me, offer obeisances to me, kill me, or protect me according to your own will. Such amazing mood Nityananda has. Ashli Shiva Padaratam Pinashtumam. Even the master, for that matter, circumambulates, the servant should allow. Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked one of his disciples, I want your water that has washed your lotus feet every day. So every day he would offer. So one day Bhaktivinoda Thakur had gone across Kaveri to another village for program. So it became little late. He came by 11 o'clock or something in the night. It was dark everywhere. So when he crossed Kaveri and came this side, this Prabhu was standing and he said, Guru Maharaj, I'm waiting for you. So why? He said that Charanam, not Charanam, water which has washed my feet, that service remained today because we had gone. He said, thank you. So loyal, so faithful. Now what will we do if somebody asks you, your master asks you, whosoever you consider your master, if he asks you the water of your lotus feet, would you give? If you are on this Ashli Shiva Padaratam platform, you will give. Anything below that, we may not give. No problem. But try to give later on. Konava Vaktavya Prabhu Ache Tomastane Kibana hi dekhatumi Divya Darashane. O Lord, what can I say to you? You see everything through your transcendental eyes. Mana prana sabara Ishvara Prabhu tumi ek rahase rupa kari ami. You are the Lord and life of all beings. I do whatever you make me do. Apane more tumi danda dharaila. Apane guchaiya yei rupa karila. You induced me to accept a danda, and then you yourself made me reject it. So both cases, in one sense, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gave it danda at that Bhargi river, and Nityananda Prabhu broke it into pieces and threw it away. And Nityananda Prabhu himself took sannyas by the inspiration of the Lord, means internally. But then when he was staying in the house of Srivas Thakur, first night only, he broke his danda and he threw away his kamandalu. He rejected his sannyas. Tad khadu vetravamshi shinga chanda dadi Iha dharilan ami, mui dharma chadi. I gave up the duties of a mendicant and accepted bracelets, anklets, a stick, a flute, a buffalo horn, and a rope. I gave up my duties. In commentary, it says to nourish the variegated pastimes of the Supreme Lord, Sri Nityananda Prabhu accepted a danda. Yet Sri Gaurasundar made him give up that danda. He thus gave up the principles of an ascetic and accepted the necessary ingredients for serving Krishna. One description comes of Nityananda Prabhu carrying danda always. And danda means the rod, iron rod, which would kind of shine like gold, but it's an iron rod only. So that Brahman also asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Nilachal that giving a danda of a sannyasi, that is iron, that is a wooden stick, sannyasi danda. This Nityananda Prabhu holds iron rod. So what is this? Strange. So you can see how this is all because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted him to be like that. That I don't know. Lakshmati Tirtha also had given him Diksha, but eventually he is also called a disciple of Madhvendra Puri in kind of Shiksha Guru. But as far as sannyas, I don't know who exactly handed over that. I don't know.
And giving the did Mahaprabhu tell him?
He is non different from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are only two different forms, but he knows everything Mahaprabhu's desire. That's why when Mahaprabhu asked him not to come to Nilachal, just preach in Bengal. Next time I don't want to see you in Rath Yatra. And heading all the devotees from Bengal and Odisha, he was the first one in the front dancing, ecstatic. So he knows the heart of the Lord every time.
Kind of remember that because Mahaprabhu can't go everywhere, but
so he gets
can go like that. It was told at time.
आचार्यादि तोमार यतेक प्रिय गण सबारे दिला दि तप भक्ति आचरण. You have taught the principles of austerity and devotional service to Advaita Acharya and other dear associates. So Mahaprabhu is glorifying him that way also. No, sorry, this is Nityananda Prabhu speaking, no? To Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So मुनि धर्म छाड़ाइया ये कर कैले हमारे व्यवहारी जने से सकल हास्य करें. Yet you induced me to give up the duties of a mendicant and made me an object of laughter for the common people. तुम्हारा नर्तकामी नाचाओ ये रूपे सही रूप नाचियामी तुम्हारा कौतुके. I'm only a dancer in your hands. I dance for your pleasure as you wish. निग्रह की अनुग्रह तुम्ही से प्रमाण वृक्ष द्वारे कर तुम्ही तुम्हारा से नाम. You alone can bestow mercy or neglect. The proof is that you have induced even trees to chant your name. In commentary said, Nityananda said, only you are qualified to display mercy or neglect. Not only human beings, even lower species like plants are eligible to attain your mercy and the service of the Supreme Lord. If the holy name of Krishna is chanted, then even living entities whose consciousness is undeveloped can attain benefit. Jai. प्रभु बोले तुम्हारा ये देह अहं अलंकार नवविधा भक्ति बई किछु न है आर. The Lord replied, the ornaments on your body are nothing but the 9 processes of devotional service. श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण आदि नमस्कार यही से तुम्हारा सर्व काल अलंकार. You please hear only. Your body is eternally decorated with ornaments like hearing, chanting, remembering, and offering obeisances. नाग विभूषण येन धरे न शंकरे तहा ही सर्वजने भुजिबारे पारे. Yet people cannot understand this, just as they do not understand why Shankar decorates his body with a serpent. परमार्थे महादेव अनंत जीवन नाग छले अनंत धरे न सर्वक्षण. So this is the reason Mahaprabhu is telling. Actually, Mahadev accepts Ananta as his life and soul. He therefore always keeps Ananta in the form of a serpent wrapped around his neck. Na bhujiya nindetan charitra agadha yateka nindayatara hayakarya bhavadha. People without understanding his unfathomable characteristics criticize him, and as a result, their progress is checked. मोईता तुम्हारा अंगे भक्ति रस विनय अन्य नहीं देखो कभू काय वाक्य मने. I do not see anything in your transcendental body, mind, and speech other than the mellows of devotional service. Commentary. Shri Gaurasundar said that he could not see anything other than the mellows of devotional service in the limbs of Nityananda. The 9 types of devotional service are the ornaments of his body. The body, mind, and speech of Nityananda are always engaged in the service of Krishna. Gaur Sundar did not see anything other than this. नंद गोष्ठी रस तुम्ही वृंदावन सुखे धरिया छ अलंकार आपन कौतुके. For your own pleasure, you have willingly accepted the transcendental mellows relished by the Vrajavasis as your ornaments. Commentary. Nityananda decorated his body with the ornaments of the transcendental mellows that are always found in the associates of Sri Brajendra Nandan in Vrindavan. The phrase Nanda Goshti refers to the Vrajavasis situated in the various rasas. यहाँ देखी ये एक सुकृति चित्ते पाय सुख से अवश्य देखिबे कृष्णेर श्रीमुख. A fortunate person who takes pleasure hearing these topics will certainly see Krishna's beautiful face. Jai. All of us will see. 4:30 it will open darshan. You can see the beautiful face of Krishna. Vetra Vamshi Shinga Gunja Hara Malya Gandha Sarvakala Yai Rupa Tomara Shri Anga. You are always adorned with a stick, flute, buffalo horn, gunjan necklace, flower garland, and sandalwood pulp. Yatek balak dekhi tomara samhati Shridama Sudama Praya Layamo Ramati. The boys who associate with you remind me of Shridama and Sudama. Vrindavana Kridara Yateka Shishugana Sakala Tomara Sange Layamo Ramana. I therefore think that all your associates are boys who used to play with you in Vrindavan. सही भाव सही कांति सही सब शक्ति सर्वदेहे देखी सही नंद गोष्ठी भक्ति. I see in your body the sentiments, beauty, and potencies manifested in the devotional service of the residents of Vrindavan. एते के ये तुम्हारे सेवके रे प्रीति करे सत्य सत्य से करे हमारे. Therefore, whoever loves you or your servants factually loves me. So you should love Nityam Prabhu and all his servants also. So अनुभवानंद दुई मुकुंद आनंद की रूपे की कहे के जानी बतार अंत. Who can fully understand what Mukunda and Ananta spoke in their own ecstatic mood? Mukunda is referring to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ananta to Nityam Prabhu. कतक्षणे दुई प्रभु बाह्य प्रकाशीय वसीले न निवृते पुष्पेरवने गिया. When after some time the two lords regained their external consciousness, they went and sat in a secluded place within the flower garden. ईश्वरे परमेश्वरे हैल की कथा वेदे से इहार तत्व जाने न सर्वथा. The conversation that took place between the two lords is known only to the Vedas. This description comes many times. नित्यानंद चैतन्य एखने देखा होय प्राय आर केह नाही थाके से समय. Whenever Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda met each other, there was usually no one else around. Very confidential. की करे न आनंद विग्रह दुई जन चैतन्य इच्छाय केह न थाके तखन. Therefore, by the desire of Lord Chaitanya, the activities of these two lords, who are the personifications of ecstasy, are not known to anyone else. नित्यानंद स्वरूप प्रभु इच्छा जानी एकांते से आसिया देखे न न्यासी मणि. Knowing the desire of Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda Swarup would always meet him alone. अपनारे ये न प्रभु न करे न व्यक्त यही मत लुकाये न नित्यानंद तत्व. As the Lord did not reveal his own identity, he also concealed the glories of Nityananda. He does describe those glories. That description is there several times, but still, in one sense, we cannot know all the glories of Nityananda fully. Sukomala Durviggeya Ishvara Rudhaya Vedashastre Brahma Shiva Sabak Yaikaya. The heart of the Supreme Lord is very soft and difficult to understand. This is confirmed in the Vedic literatures by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Uttar Ramcharit says, Vajrad api kathorani Ruduni kusumadapi lokottaranam chetamsi kohi jigyatum ishvaraha. He is softer than the hearts of those above common behavior are sometimes harder than a thunderbolt and sometimes softer than a flower. How can one accommodate such contradictions in great personalities? So that way they are always soft, because soft heart only can chant the holy name of the Lord. But when one goes against Krishna and Krishna's devotees or devotional service, then they become harder than thunderbolt also. So that is not a problem with them. They are soft only at heart, but then thunderbolt side is also required. Otherwise, people will continue with their offenses. That's why we see when Gopal Chakravarti offended Haridas Thakur or Gopal Chapal, he offended Shivas Thakur. Then after some time, When he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going by the side of Ganges. Then he said, please, O Lord, please have mercy. He said, I curse you that you suffer like this with this leprosy for millions of lifetimes. My God, this appears so heavy. Already that is unbearable in one life only, leprosy. All the bodily parts melt. Bodily parts means fingers, etc. And so much pain. And more than that, the mental pain of being ostracized by entire community. Nobody wants to be close to such a person. Chota Haridas. That is a devotee, that is different pastime. But here, those who are offenders to the Lord, the Lord will be Vajradapi Kathoram. Very, very hard. Or for that matter, devotees also. Prabhupada's anger was described a few days back. 3 types, levels of anger. In the extreme anger, Prabhupada would talk to the devotee behind when that person with whom Prabhupada is angry is in the middle. And as if he doesn't exist only. How difficult, Like you are nothing. No, you are not existing only. One thing is to make you feel that you are insignificant. But one thing is the other extreme is to make you feel you are not existing only. They're very difficult. Maybe many of us have not gone through that experience, so we don't understand. But Prabhupada would be so angry because some mistake he has done. Na bhuji na jani matra sabe gayak gatha lakshmiro yei sevakya anyara ki katha. People who chant the glories of the Lord admit that they do not know or understand his heart. Even Lakshmi says like this. So what to speak of others? In this way, Lord Chaitanya enjoyed ecstatic exchanges that he did not disclose to anyone. Hena se tahara ranga sabe manena amara adhika prita karona vasena. Yet everyone thought the Lord does not love anyone more than me. Amare se kahena sakala gopya katha Muni Dharma Kari Krishna Bhajibe Sarvata. He tells me all confidential topics like follow the principles of a mendicant and always worship Krishna. Vitravam Shivaraha Gunjamala Chanda Dandi Iha Va Dharena Kene Muni Dharma Chadi. Then he tells me to give up the principles of a mendicant and accept a stick, flute, peacock feather, gunjamala, and rope. केह बोले भक्त नाम यते का प्रकार वृंदावने गोप क्रीड़ा अधिक sabar. Some say the Lord's pastimes with the cowherd boys of Vrindavan are superior to his pastimes with all other devotees. Commentary. The perfection of all types of devotees and devotional service is found in the exchanges between the transcendental residents of the transcendental abode of Vrindavan. Gopa Gopi Bhakti Sab Tapasya Rafal Yahavanche Brahma Shiva Ishvara Sapal. The devotion attained by the Gopas and Gopis of Vrindavan is the result of great austerities. That platform is desired by Brahma, Shiva, and other great persons. Ittam Satam, he quotes. Ati Krupa Patra se Gokula Bhavapai Ye Bhakti Vanchena Prabhu Shri Uddhavarai. Only a most fortunate person can achieve the mood of a resident of Gokul, a mood that is desired by Uddhav. I repeatedly offer my respects to the dust from the feet of the women of Nanda Maharaj's cowherd village. When these gopis loudly chant the glories of Sri Krishna, the vibration purifies the 3 worlds. Uddhav's prayers. Yei mata ye Vaishnava karena vichar sarvatra Shri Gaurachandra karena svikar. In this way, whatever mood a Vaishnava develops is always accepted by Lord Gaurachandra. Anyonne bhajayena Ishvara ichhai Henarangi Mahaprabhu Shri Gaurangarai. By the Lord's will, the devotees would sometimes engage in loving quarrels, and Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu would also enjoy taking part in such exchanges. So, by Lord's will only, the devotees engage in loving quarrels for the pleasure of the Lord. Krishnera Krupaya Sabe Anande Vibhal Kakhono Baje Ananda Kandal. By Krishna's mercy, everyone was overwhelmed in transcendental happiness. Yet sometimes loving quarrels took place even between Gaurachandra and Nityananda. Ihate eka ishwarera pakshahaya anya ishwarere ninde sei abhagiya. Whoever takes the side of the one Lord, criticizing the other Lord, is most unfortunate. Ishwarera bhinna sakala bhaktagan Dehera ye deha, Dehera ye hena bahu, Anguli charana. All the devotees are non-different from the Lord, as the legs, fingers, and arms are non-different from the body. So all the devotees are one with the Lord only, as the different limbs of the body of the Lord. So one should not see them differently. In commentary, it says, although the Lord is one, the devotees are considered his bodily limbs and sublimbs. Sango pangastra pashana. Sango sa anga panga upanga. Hand is the limb of the body, and the fingers are the sublimbs of the body. No one is independent. The concept of separation attributed to the living entities who are covered and thrown by the influence of Maya is removed when one sees things in proper perspective. That 4.35 says that they will impart knowledge because they have seen the truth. The spiritual master reveals the truth. What is the truth? All living entities are in me. They are mine. They are my parts and parcels. So nobody is independent of the Lord. Nobody is separate from the Lord. They are all children of the Lord. When the activities of the limbs and sublimbs are in complete harmony with the owner of the limbs, there is no question of separation. So that's how one always is united with the Lord. Because he knows I'm just Lord's only. Just like all of us, how deeply ingrained it is that such and such person is my father, such and such person is my mother, or for that matter, even hometown. Oh, I am not from Andhra or Odisha. I am from Maharashtra, or I am from Pune, Bombay, whatever, something like that. So much that is bodily identification. But if only one takes shelter of spiritual master through Pranipad, Pariprashna, and Seva, then he makes it very clear that you are not Krishna, you are Krishna's. You are the property of Krishna. All time, Sarva Bhuteshu Manmati. See me in all living entities, Krishna says. Yet for the sake of variety, they appear to be separate. The devotees of the Lord are inclined to the service of the Lord. They have no propensity for material enjoyment because they do not maintain the conception of separation from the Lord. Then again he quotes Bhagavatam. A person with average intelligence does not think the head and other parts of the body to be separate. Similarly, my devotee does not differentiate Vishnu, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, from anything or any living entity. In other words, he considers all living entities as simultaneously one with and different from the absolute truth. If you see Garbhodakshaya Vishnu from his navel only, it is not like he was born without that lotus with the stem, and afterwards somebody inserted the stem inside his navel. That is born. That's why I am Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. That is not different from his body only. That stem as well as the lotus. And Brahma is born on that only. And we are all within that only. So we are one with the Lord. But not according to Mayavadi conception. तथापि यह सर्व वैष्णवेर यही कथा सबार ईश्वर कृष्ण चैतन्य सर्वथा. Still the Vaishnava's conclusion is that Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya is the supreme Lord of all. Eko Bahunam, that Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam. All are eternal, but one is supremely eternal. All are all are conscious, but one is supremely conscious. Two types of Kshatrajnas. नियंता पालक सृष्टा दुर्विज्ञेय तत्व सबे मिली यही मात्र मंत्र गायन महत्व. They glorify the Lord as the controller, maintainer, creator, and incomprehensible truth. In Madhvacharya's commentary on Bhagavatam, he quotes Skanda Puran, Utpatti Sthiti. Lord Hari is the ultimate cause of the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the cosmic manifestation. One knows this becomes liberated, and one who does not remains entangled. आविर्भाव हैते छे ये सब शरीरे तान सबार अनुग्रहे भक्ति फल धरे. Devotional service is attained through the mercy of those in whose bodies the Supreme Lord manifests. तुम्हारा हृदय सदा गोविंद विश्राम गोविंद कोहे नमरा Vaishnava Paran. So we need to surrender to devotees who have Supreme Lord manifested in their bodies. That means their body, mind, words are always engaged in the service of the Lord. सर्वज्ञाता सर्वशक्ति दियाओ आपने अपराधे शास्ति ओ करे न भाल मने. Although the Lord awards all knowledge and strength, he nevertheless awards punishment to those who commit offenses. So knowledge, strength will be given by him, but if he commit offenses, then will be punished also. इति मध्ये विशेष आच्छाये दुई प्रति नित्यानंद द्वैतेरे ना छाड़े न स्तुति. Yet Lord Chaitanya had special affection for Nityananda Prabhu and Advaitacharya. He never hesitated to glorify them. कोटि अलौकिको यदि ये दुई करे न तथापि ह गौरचंद्र किछु न बोले न. Even if those two, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaitacharya, violated social etiquette millions of times. Lord Gaurchandra would not say anything. He did not violate, but like that very difficult to understand Lord's birth and activities. Ye mata katakshana parananda kari avadhuta chandra sange gauranga Shri Hari. In this way, Lord Gauranga and Avadhut Chandra, Shri Nityananda, spent some time together in great ecstasy. Tabe Nityananda sthane hayya vidaya vasaya aila prabhu Shri Gauranga Raya. Then Lord Gauranga took leave of Nityananda and returned to his residence. Nityananda Swarupo Paramaharshamane Anande Chalila Jagannatha Darashane. Nityananda Swarupa also happily departed to see Lord Jagannath. Nityananda Chaitanya ye Haila Darashana Ihara Shravane Sarva Bandha Vimokchana. By hearing about this meeting between Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, one is freed from all bondage. Haribol. Jagannath dekhi matra Nityananda Rai Anande Vivala Hai Gada Gadi Jai. When Lord Nityananda saw Lord Jagannath, he became overwhelmed in ecstasy and began rolling on the ground. Achada padena Prabhu prastara upare shata jane dharile o dharite na pare. He fell on the stone floor with such force that 100 people could not break his fall. Very difficult. That's what I said, wait. Because he's the first time asking.
In this
Younger devotee. You can meet me after the class.
Here, there are a series of verses where it is told that we should not take sides of the Vaishnavas. And then Mahaprabhu is glorifying Advaita, Nityananda Prabhu. So many times we see in management meetings, sometimes voting is done. So it is also taking like a side of taking one side.
No, no. We two are on one side and opinion is other one. So it is separate from us. Don't see, our bodily absorption makes us think that my opinion is me only. This is our problem. Just like our body, which is outer covering only, we think I am only this body. Like that, my opinion, that is a subtle body. Just like Karna was born with Kavach and Kundal, like that, in our subtle body, we are born with our opinions. And conditioned soul strongly identifies with his opinion. And anytime anybody says anything against that opinion, we feel he's offending me. What nonsense, how dare of you. We become very angry. But that opinion is nothing, this is just different. That opinion will change. Our own opinion changes after some time. Yes or not? How many of you experience?
Yes.
Earlier, we might be of the opinion we should dance like anything, you know. But as you grow 35, 40, 50, at least one should raise hand. One should be standing in kirtan. Your opinion changed. Like that, we'll have to change. So don't think yourself to be your opinion. Yourself one with your opinion. Don't, nor is anybody else one with his opinion. Like that. Don't have that. Jagannath Balarama Subhadra Sudarshan Sabadeki Nityananda Karena Krandan. Just by saying all this four, he started crying. Nityambro Sabara Galaramala Brahmane Aniya Puna Puna Dena Sabe Prabhava Janiya. Understanding Nityananda's influence, the Brahman garlanded him again and again with Lord's garlands. Nityananda Dekhiyata Jagannath Das Sabara Janmila Ati Parama Ullas. All the servants of Lord Jagannath became jubilant on seeing Nityananda. ये जन नाचिने से जिज्ञासे कार उठाई सबे का है यही कृष्ण चैतन्य भाई. Those who did not know, they inquired, who is this person? Oh, he is the brother of Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda Swarupo sabare karikole sinchila sabara anga nayanera jale. And Nityananda embraced everyone and soaked them with his tears. Tabe Jagannath heri harsha sarvagane anande chalila gadadhara darashane. After seeing Lord Jagannath and his servants, Lord Nityananda happily went to meet Gadadhar Pandit. Nityananda Gadadhare ye priti antare taha kahibare shakti ishware se dhare. The transcendental affection between Nityananda and Gadadhar can be described only by the Supreme Lord. Gadadhara bhavane mohana gopinath achena ye hena nanda kumara sakshat. You know, Gadadhar Pandit got Tota Gopinath. So Sakshat Gopinath was in his house. Apane chaitanya tane kariya chena kole ati pashandiyo se vigraha de dekhi bhole. Chaitanya once personally embraced that deity of Gopinath. Even atheists forget everything upon seeing that deity. We all have seen. Very beautiful. Dekhi Shri Murali Mukha Angera Bhangima Nityananda Ananda Ashrura Nahi Sima. So this time Tota Gopinath is standing posture. That pastime of his sitting happened later. And Nityananda Prabhu looked at Gopinath's beautiful face, which was adorned with a flute. His tears of love could not be checked. Nityananda Vijaya Janiya Gadadhar Bhagavat Pathachadi Aila Satar. Knowing that he has come, Nityananda has come, Gadadhar gave up his Bhagavatam reading and came to receive him. दुहे मात्र देखिया दुहार श्रीवदन गलाधरी लागीले न करिते क्रंदन. Seeing each other, they caught each other's neck and embraced each other, began to cry. अन्योन्य दुई प्रभु करे नमस्कार, अन्योन्य दोहे बले महिमा दुहार. They offered obeisances to each other and glorified each other. दोहे बोले आजी हैल लोचन निर्मल. Today my eyes have become purified. दोहे बोले आजी हैल जीवन सफल. My life has become successful. बाह्य ज्ञान नाही दुई प्रभुर शरीरे. They forgot all external things. दुई प्रभु बासे भक्ति आनंद सागरे. They were absorbed in the ocean of ecstatic love. हेन से हैल प्रेम भक्तिर प्रकाश. देखी चतुर्दे के पड़ी कांदे सर्वदास. When the devotees surrounding them saw their manifestation of ecstatic love, they began to cry. ये अद्भुत प्रीति नित्यानंद गदाधरे. एकेर अप्रिय आरे संभाषा न करे. What wonderful affection there is between Nityananda and Gadadhar. Neither of them would ever speak to anyone who was disliked by the other. So if Gadadhar found anybody who disliked Nityananda Prabhu, so he would not speak only to him. Similarly, Nityananda Prabhu. Gadadhara devera sankalpa yai roop Nityananda nindakera na dekhena muk. This was the determination of Gadadhar Pandit, that anybody who criticize Nityananda Prabhu, I will not even see his face. Nityananda Swarupere Priti Yara Nai Dekhao Na Dena Tare Pandita Gosai. Gadadhar Pandit would avoid being seen by anyone who had no love for Nityananda Swarup. My God, he would not even show himself to that person. If he wants to meet him, no, sorry, he will not come only. Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur also. If anybody came to meet him and said, I am servant of Krishna, I have no time. He would not come only in front of that fellow. Servant only would give. After somebody came little later, immediately, I am servant of Lord Krishna's servant. Oh, you have all my time. Come. Like that. तबे दुई प्रभु स्थिरा हई एक स्थाने वसिल न चैतन्य मंगल संकीर्तने. Thereafter the two Prabhus became pacified and sat down to engage in Lord Chaitanya's auspicious Sankirtan. तबे गदाधर देव नित्यानंद प्रति निमंत्रण करिलेन आजी भिक्षा इति. Gadadhar Pandit invited Nityananda Prabhu, please take prasad here. Nityananda Gadadhara भिक्षार कारणे एकमान chaula akin Anyachen Yatane. Nityananda had carefully brought one mound, that is 40 kilos of rice, for Gadadhar to offer to Gopinath. How he brought, amazing. Ati Sukshma Shukla Deva Yogya Sarvamate Gopinath Lagi Ani Yache Gauda Haite. He had brought this very fine white rice, fit to be offered to Gopinath from Bengal. Ar Ekakhani Vastra Rangima Sundar Dui Ani Dila Gadadharera Gochar. Along with the rice, he had brought a beautifully colored cloth for Gopinath. Gadadhar, ye tandul kariya randhan Shri Gopinathere diya kariba bhojan. Please cook this rice and offer to Gopinath. Tandula dekhiya hase Pandita Gosai nayaneta ye mat tandula dekhi nai. On seeing the rice, Pandit Gosai laughed and said, I have never seen such rice before. Ye tandula Gosai ki vaikunthe thakiya yatnya niya chen Gopinathera lagya. Have you brought this from Vaikuntha? For Gopinath. Lakshmi matra ye tandula karena randhana Krishna se ihara bhokta tabe bhakta gana. Lakshmi alone cooks such rice for Krishna to eat. The devotees then enjoy his remnants. Anande tandula prashamsena Gadadhar vastralai gela Gopinathera gochar. After joyfully glorifying the rice in this way, Gadadhar took the cloth for offering to Gopinath. दिव्यरंग वस्त्र गोपीनाथेर श्री अंगे दिलेन देखिया शोभा भासेन आनंदे. Gadadhar decorated Gopinath with that beautifully colored cloth and floated in ecstasy on seeing the beauty of the Lord. तबे रंधनेर कार्य करिते लागिला आपने टोटार शाक तुलिते लागिला. He started cooking that rice and he himself picked up the shak from his compound. केह बोने नाई दैवे हैया छे शाक Tahatuli Aniya Karila Ekapaka. No one had planted that shak. It grew there naturally. This shak was picked and cooked by Gadadhar. तेंतुल वृक्षरयत पत्र सुकोमल तहा आणि वाटी ताय दिला लोण जल. Gadadhar picked soft newly grown tamarind leaves which he ground and mixed with the salt water. तार एक व्यंजन करिला अम्ल नाम रंधन करिला गदाधर भाग्यवान. The fortunate Gadadhar then prepared a sour vegetable preparation with this. गोपीनाथ अग्रेनिया भोग लगाईला हेन काले गौरचंद्र आसिया में लीला. As he offered the preparations to Gopinath, Shri Gaurachandra arrived there. प्रसन्न श्रीमुखे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली विजय हैला गौरचंद्र कुतूहली. Gaurachandra was joyfully chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra when he came. Gadadhar Gadadhar Dake Gaurachandra Sambrame Gadadhar Vande Pada Dvandva. So he said Gadadhar Gadadhar and immediately Gadadhar was he came and offered obeisances. Hasiya balena Prabhu kena Gadadhar ami ki na hai nimantranera bhitar. Are he smiled and said Gadadhar, you did not invite me. I am not there in the invitation list. Amita tomara doi haite bhinna nai nadile o tomara bolete amin lai. I am not different from either of you. Even if you don't offer me anything, I will take by force. Nityananda Dravya Gopinathera Prasad Tomara Randhana Mora Ithe Ache Bhag. I am certainly entitled to a share of the items brought by Nityanand, cooked by you and relished by Gopinath. All are my close associates. Krupa Vakya Shuni Nityananda Gadadhar Magna Hailena Sukha Sagara Bhitar. When Nityananda and Gadadhar heard this merciful statement of the Lord, they both merged in an ocean of happiness. Santoshe Prasadani Deva Gadadhar Thuilena Gaurachandra Prabhura Gochar. In great satisfaction, Shri Gadadhar then brought the prasad and placed it before Lord Gaurachandra. Sarvatota Vyapileka Annera Saugandhe Bhakti Kari Prabhu Puna Puna Anna Vande. In a devotional mood, Lord Chaitanya repeatedly offered prayers to the rice, the fragrance of which permeated the entire garden. प्रभु बोले तीन भाग समान करिया भुंजीब प्रसाद अन्न एकत्र वसिया. Divide equally in three parts, we together will honor. नित्यानंद स्वरूपेरा तंडुलेरा प्रीते वसिले न महाप्रभु भोजन करिते. Being attracted by the rice brought by Nityan Swarup, Mahaprabhu sat down to eat. दुई प्रभु भोजन करे न दुई पाशे संतोषे ईश्वर अन्न व्यंजन प्रशंसे. Gadadhar and Nityanand sat on either side of the Lord, who glorified the rice and the vegetable preparation. प्रभु बोले ये अन्नेरा गंधे ओ सर्वथा कृष्ण भक्ति हय इथे नाही का अन्यथा. The Lord declared the fragrance of this rice will without doubt bestow on one devotion to Krishna, just the fragrance. गदाधर की तुम्हारा मनोहर पाक आमित एमत कभू नाही खाई शाक. Oh Gadadhar, what a wonderful cook you are. I have never tasted such shaak before. गदाधर की तुम्हारा विचित्र रंधन तेंतुल पत्रेर कर ये मत व्यंजन. Oh Gadadhar, your cooking is so amazing. You have made such a nice vegetable preparation with tamarind leaves. भुजिलान वैकुंठे रंधन कर तुमी तबे आर आपना के लुकाओ वा केनी. I can understand that you cook in Vaikuntha, so why are you hiding yourself? In commentary said the daughter of Sri Vishabhanu cooks for Krishna. Since Sri Gadadhar Pandit Goswami displayed expertise in cooking offerings for Sri Gopinath, Sri Gausundar understood who he actually was and identified him as a cook of Vaikuntha. Ei mata santoshete hasya parihase bhojana karenatina prabhu prema rase. So they had all jokes, laughing and relished prasadam with great satisfaction. Ye tina janera priti ye tine se jane Gaurachandra jhatana kahena ka rosthane. The affection shared between these three is known only to them. Gaurachandra would generally not discuss this with anyone else. Katakshane Prabhu Saba Kariya Bhojan Chalile na Patra Luta Kaila Bhaktagan. After finishing their meal, they got up and left. The devotee then snatched their remnants. Haribol. ये आनंद भोजन ये पड़े वाशुने कृष्ण भक्ति है कृष्ण पाए से ही जाने. हरिबोल. Whoever hears or reads about these blissful eating pastimes achieves Krishna and his devotional service. So sorry for not giving time for questions because we wanted to read this. Because by reading this, we achieve Krishna and his devotional service. Just few more. Gadadhara Shubha Drushti Karena Yahare Sejani Te Pare Nityananda Swarupere. Whoever receives the merciful glance of Gadadhar can know Nityananda Swarup. नित्यानंद स्वरूप यहारे प्रीतमने लावया ये न Gadadhar jane se ye jane. And whoever pleases Nityananda can know Shri Gadadhar. Ena mate Nityananda Prabhu Nila chale vihare na Gaurachandra sange kutuhale. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu happily enjoyed pastimes with Gaurachandra in Nilachal. तीन जन एकत्र ठाके न निरंतर श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद गदाधर. These three, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Gadadhar, would always stay together. जगन्नाथो एकत्र देखे न तीन जने आनंदे विवल सबे मात्र संकीर्तने. Together they would sit, they would visit the temple of Lord Jagannath and become overwhelmed with ecstatic love while performing Sankirtan. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chandajan Vrindavan Dasata Chupada Yogegan. Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Thus ends the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary by Bhaktivinoda Thakur on Chaitanya Bhagavad Antya Khanda chapter 7 entitled Pastimes in Shri Gadadhar's Garden. Any question? By your grace, we could complete 166 verses. Yes.
भगवान खा रहे और सब लोग हंस रहे. सब हमारे यहाँ जब कभी कभी लोग रीडिंग करते हैं, उधर बोलने का,
रीडिंग
प्रसाद के टाइम रीडिंग करते हैं, बोलने चुप रहो, बात मत करो.
रीडिंग करते हैं, चुप रहो
नीचे प्रसाद के टाइम में.
हाँ.
अब भगवान का हम देख रहे कैसे बात कर रहे, जोक कर रहे हैं. तीनों लॉर्ड.
Yes, but they are lords. Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, we are Prabhupada Anugas. Prabhupada, for all 12 years, nobody saw him even talking once with anyone during his prasadam. So, we are Prabhupada Anugas. Yes. Shri, which Kirtan? Shri Hari Kirtan. Yes. Loudly.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
And danger of not having it.
Yes.
So how to maintain, because in the course of time many different things fill up the mind and it goes into
basically background. If you accept any other bija apart from that bija given by Guru, Brahmanda Bharmite Kono Bhagwan Jeev, Bhakti, Guru Krishna Prasad Bhakti Lata Bij. Bhakti Lata Bij has unlimited gratitude stored in it. But if you accept Jnana Bij, Yoga Bij, Karma Bij, Social Bij, Political Bij, Philanthropic Bij, iPhone Bij, and millions of other Bijas, as Prabhupada says, you can read 152 purport to 19th chapter of Madhya Lila, Rupa Shiksha. Prabhupada talks all that elaborately. Then your gratitude will be on the reduction. It will keep
so to maintain that.
Why maintain? You have to increase it. And with every moment, day, month, year passing by, decade passing by, it should be increasing. When it becomes oceanic gratitude, then you cry while chanting Hare Krishna and you never stop chanting. You chant 24 hours a day. So our problem is we are taking bijas from others.
To not take other bijas also gratitude is required, na Prabhuji?
No. The gratitude is all what you call, that is hazy gratitude. That is not a proper gratitude. Karma bij and all. That's what I said. Na, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So the gratitude is only as long as the scratching is there. After that, you have nothing to do with me. Today morning he very nicely told, Gopi is selling Brahmachari Geet, that as long as the tree has fruits and all that, the birds remain, then they fly away. As long as a student has something to learn from teacher, he is there, then he goes away. And some more examples they give. So this is not how it should be. So you read that 152 purport, very powerful.
From where, Prabhuji? Which
19th chapter, Madhya Lila.
Okay.
Chaitanya Charitamrita. Rupa Shiksha. After Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev, he says, Sei Beijaliya Kare Aropan, Shravana Kirtana Jale Kare Sinchan. Kare Sinchan. So in that, one has to water this Bhakti Lata Bij only, which we receive in Guru Parampara. What is this Bhakti Lata Bij? The rules and regulations, the methods. This is what is Bhakti Lata Bij, which we receive in Guru Parampara. That only you take. Guru Mukha Padme Akya, Chitte Te Kori Aikya. You don't listen to all these Gyanis and Yogis and Karmis and million others who will give you all these seeds. You should not accept these seeds at all. Association means what? Association means accepting. If you accept the Karmi's words as very sublime, glorious, you appreciate, then you have taken association of a Karmi. Otherwise, there is no problem in going amongst Karmis. You go and you understand these are all fools and rascals. They don't have Lord's mercy. Let me give them mercy of the Lord. Give them book, give them prasad, give them, at least chant Hare Krishna, tell Hare Krishna to them. So be kind to them, compassionate, jiv there. But don't take their association. The moment you take their association, you will get the beach. If he's a karmi, you'll get karma beach. If he's a yogi, you'll get yoga beach. Like devotees went to Kumbh Mela, Naga Babas and all that. So we don't take beaches from them. We give them Krishna consciousness, prasad, etc., whatever they can accept favorably. That's it. But we don't take association of any of them. If we take association of anybody else apart from Bhakti Lata Biju, water, anything else, your gratitude will reduce. Why you say Rupa Goswami is again and again emphasizing the point? Bhakti and Mukti, these are two pishachis. And they only expand into millions of bijas. Bhakti will have millions of bijas. Mukti will have other millions of bijas. Bija is, that is one only in one sense, basically wanting to be one with the Lord. No more gratitude is there, so no more service is there. One is only frustrated in life and just wants to merge and I don't want problems. This is the only goal. And I'm only supreme. Then that is all bogus. So then there's no question of gratitude. So one should not allow these other bijas. That's why saying, Sei bija laya, take that bij only. Bhakti Lata bij, which we get in Guru Parampara. We all have received it. The methods, rules and regulations that we have got. So other methods, rules and regulations, we don't accept. Years before in Radha Gopinath temple, some brahmacharis were doing chaturmas. They were only having boiled khichdi without salt, without any spices, etc. And that too also one chamach only. When Radha Maharaj came to know, he said, stop them. Tell them they cannot continue this because they are feasting on the false ego. They should practice what others are practicing. So no question. So he stopped it forcefully because this is other bija then. Then that tapasya which is required for Gyanis and all that, for them it's okay, and then that leads to hard-heartedness. Tapasya one does, which is not coming in parampara, like we do tapasya, fasting, Adhudacharya's appearance day, Nityam Prabhu, that is all bona fide. But anything on your own you start doing, that will fall in that Jnana Bij category, and then that will be leading to hard-heartedness. The one will think very high of oneself. I fast, all these rascals, they are sense gratified, they are eating like anything. And look at me, how renounced I am. So this is all Jnana Bij. Jnanis become very proud of their austerities. Bhaktas never. Amrish Maharaj did so much austerity. Rantidev did so much austerity. They never became proud. So be grateful. No, why should we desire? If spiritual master wants me to go, then I will go.
We should not come again to this material world.
Yes, so the whole process will ensure that. But let's say Krishna wants you to come back again. Will you come or not?
That I don't have option. No, that.
No, let's Krishna wants that you come here and distribute BTG magazines in that stall along with Ajahn and Prabhu. So will you come back or not? So this desire to get rid of service, this is Mukti Vancha.
Yeah.
You understand? Desire to get rid of, now marathon is over. Hell with the whole book distribution now. Now I am free bird. Next 10 months I don't have to worry. This not the attitude should be. Attitude is, yeah, I distribute. Okay, marathon time all services were removed. That means exclusive attention, and so I could distribute more. Now also I'll distribute less, but whatever, as and when possible. Not that hell with the book distribution now. Next 10 months, nothing to worry. So that is Mukti Vancha then. No service we should be becoming ours to. Services will keep changing at the time, requirements, time, place, circumstances. So we are okay. Sadhaka has this.
Regarding my previous question also, when Prabhupada used to meet his god brother, he used to come and meet. That time Prabhupada used to like joke with them, and even while taking prasadam.
Yeah, that is not a problem. But while taking prasadam, there is no record as far as I have heard. Not even once any disciple saw Prabhupada talking to anyone. In case he did talk also, that is okay, the god brothers and all. But in among ourselves, ideally one should not talk during prasadam. One should hear. That also not hard philosophy. One should hear katha. In material life, they say, Shastriya Sangeet you should hear. Classical music. But we should hear kirtan maybe, we should hear Katha, Krishna Katha, Gaur Katha, which is very nectarian, which is very helps. Otherwise, heavy philosophy we hear, we are tense. And that too, if somebody asks question and we are like, ooh. So that subtle body impression of threat will lead to indigestion or something like that. Yes.
It was related to what Prabhu asked, and it is all going in the same direction, which I wanted to ask. That you said actually in gratitude, the essence is impersonalism, hard-heartedness. So my question is, you said, what are the symptoms of soft heart? One symptom you said constant chanting. However, Raghunath Das Goswami met a person who was constantly chanting, but he could not also recognize him. So what are the symptoms of soft heart? How he deals?
Always he is having
So
Name
can you-
Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jivdaya. Three
No,
principles.
tell
That is
some-
Krishna Prem.
Tell
Krishna
some
Prem means three things only.
perceivable things.
Name Ruchi, you have taste for chanting the holy name.
So that
Whenever you
person
chant,
had
whenever others chant, you feel wow, Hari Bol, very nice, he's chanting. So that means you have Ruchi. And Vaishnava Seva, any Vaishnava comes in front of you, you want to render service to him according to time, place, circumstances. Small kid comes, you don't have to tell him all 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, that will be too much. You can tell him some Krishna Katha, something which he can really, or give prasad, that is simple. And other jivas, you be compassionate according to time, place, circumstances. You give them prasad, book, tell philosophy, depending on what their level is. That's it. That is what is required.
quoted nice pastime, which I heard first time, that Rupa Goswami says the whole purpose of bhakti is to soften the heart. In the Vairagya section only he says that. No, Yukta Vairagya and Falgu Vairagya. There only he says that Chitta Kaఠinya happens. So in our Krishna consciousness, so these three symptoms are there. You said that's it. There are no more further symptoms.
That all
But
others are
chanting-
expansion of these three only.
So
Name
that's what
Ruchi
you
will
want to know,
come in
soft
deity
heart.
worship. You know, there also you have the holy names of the Lord chanted. And the Pujari also has to hear Hare Krishna Kirtan going on in temple hall. So he has Ruchi. He's not saying what nonsense, stop it, don't you see I'm doing this thing. That kind of thing is not it. That is all Name Ruchi only. And similarly Vaishnava Seva. So Vaishnava Seva, all varieties of Vaishnava are there, Kanishta, Madhyam, Uttam. So you know, and accordingly you serve, according to time, place, circumstances also. That is one of the 5 factors of jnana or intelligence, I think. In that one is gratitude. 5, what you call 5 components of knowledge. So one of them is gratitude. And one is knowing the knowledge as per, applying the knowledge as per time, place, circumstances. So that is also there. So that is Vaishnava Seva and Jivdaya. Any Jiva comes, you be merciful. Just say Hare Krishna. Give a smile. That is enough for some Jivas. Like that. Krishna will give the intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. You have to be always engaged. Nityam, nitya yukta upasate and bhajatam priti purvakam. Have that priti. We don't have priti. We borrow from pure devotees. Simple. Then gratitude is on march. You are on march. You are going ahead properly. So with the days, months, years passing by, our gratitude should be increasing always. More you associate with pure devotees who don't have any other bija. So through their speech, they transfer only Bhakti Lata Beach. Watering happens. And then our gratitude will keep on increasing unlimitedly. When it becomes oceanic, then you are fit to go back to God. You have developed already Krishna Prem. As far as mundane mortal coil, this body, whenever Krishna wants, it will be dropping down. That doesn't matter only when it is dropped down. Today or after 10 years or 20 years. That is not required only. The pure devotee never thinks about it. Krishna, Guru, whenever they want.
So someone who has not developed Namaruchi has a harder heart.
Yeah,
If he is
obviously.
one of the 9 processes, he has no, let us say he has Ruchi for deity worship. So he has soft heart.
If he has aversion to Nam, holy
I'm
name.
not asking the aversion at all.
No, but that's what I already explained. How many of you heard me saying Nameruchi explanation that he worships deities also and he
Give
appreciates?
example that if Kirtan is played, then he doesn't say that. That's what you said. What I am asking is, if
Other
one has
devotees, if
Ruchi
you
in
want to
other
leave, will leave. I'll talk to him personally.
9 limbs of bhakti,
Others are being held on. I don't want to them.
your heart
You.
is very soft. I'm sorry.
ग्रंथरा
Thank
श्री
you.
चैतन्य भागवतम की जय, श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. You can meet me. That is not a problem. Let others go who have to take prasad. Other I'll be offending them.
You always extend.
Yes. If I don't extend, how will I perform bhakti? Then you are not progressing.